Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to what is going to be a stretch of Begg knives. Excuse me. My buddy Dirk Werning over from the Dirk Werning channel sent me an entire box of the new sort of budget-minded, we'll get to that in a minute, Begg knives stuff. I love old Todd Begg designs. I have a bunch of them. Maybe I'll do a whole video on those. But anyway, he split off from Begg Knives, and they have been sort of looking for a way to bring the older designs and newer designs from a guy who goes by JVO, Jared Van Otterloo, to the market at prices that won't break the bank, because old Todd Begg stuff is very expensive. So they have released a line of budget friendly. I'm not going to call them budget, and we'll get to that. But budget-friendly knives in some of the older designs and some of the newer designs, and I have a whole box of them. So you're going to see a bunch of their stuff over the next, I don't know, a couple of months probably. Look, content is real. I don't have the money anymore to keep buying all the newest and brightest, so I am very grateful to Dirk for sending this over, and I hope to make it interesting for you. And if you like the Begg designs, well, keep your eyes open. So what is this? Well, this is the Kwaiken. It is D2. It is aluminum steel frame running on ceramic bearings. This is an old Todd Begg design. It is also one of my favorite designs. I have two of them. I have the Sun Tzu edition. You saw this in a video earlier this week. This is Riot built. This one maybe two. And this is the 3/4 Kwaiken. I love these knives. I really do. And so when I discovered that they were going to make a budget-friendlier version, okay, 300 unknown because they've been out of production for so long, 120 bucks. Now, look, okay, I can hear you. That's a lot for D2, but it's a lot for D2. It is. But you're not going to get this design for less money than that. And I'm okay with that. Particularly since this is very well made. Let's go ahead and put its big brothers away. These are so good. God. Okay. The Kwaiken here is, as I said, it's D2, it's aluminum, it is running on ceramic bearings. It has a steel backspacer with a really nice lanyard loop, which is how the original design went. It is very neutral in hand. The elephant in the room is the price on these. Really, it's going to fall down to whether or not you want the design or not. I don't think $120. I do, actually. I think 120 bucks is too much money. And that's a bummer, because it's a really good knife. So let's review it for what it is, and I'll let you decide whether or not you want to spend 120 bucks on one of these or not. I probably will. These are not mine. I have to give these back. But because I am so enamored with this design, and yet I don't have one that I'm willing to take out and beat the crap out of, because these are both, well, this one in particular is a collector's item. This one is very nice, but also very expensive. It would be great to have one that I can thump on. And it's also a little smaller. So yeah, I will be spending $120 on one of these at some point. All right, let's take a look at what you get for your money. You get 3 1/4 inches of cutting on just about 3 1/2 inches of D2 steel. Grip area from behind the flipper there is 3 3/4 inches. It has got a lot of room. It is very lean and very fast because of it. It is an excellent cutting tool. I'm not sure who's making these for the Beggs, but I will tell you that it came from Dirk. So this is the second time somebody's played with this. With a very nice edge on it. Nice grind right here at the base of the plunge. It's got a nice sharpening choil. There is milling in the aluminum to give it a little bit of grip, which is very nice. It is a steel folded, now it is just right hand tip-up carry, by the way. It has a traditional sort of Begg pocket clip on it. That is a ceramic ball, and this thing slips in and out of the pocket brilliantly. It is really nice. I do have one moderate complaint. As you can see, the design here does not have a cutaway for the liner lock, and since this is a liner lock as opposed to a frame lock, it can make it a little bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, you could do it. I have big, meaty thumbs, but my wife, Women Carry Knives, struggled a little bit to get this one closed because you got to get in there. So I find myself doing, you know, stuff like that a fair amount, basically closing it like that. I can get in there and get it out of the way, but just be aware. In order to keep the symmetry, when it is very symmetrical and very pretty, at least the lines are very symmetrical. Yeah, the liner lock's a little bit hard to access. They could have made it a little more proud, or they could have done a cutaway. Anyway, action is very good, by the way. Knife overall is 8 1/4 inches because of this large lanyard loop. You know, I realize how that looks in the camera, but the actual end of the knife is at the 8-inch mark, and then this is overhanging. It's the way of the camera. Anyway, one of the finer things about this knife is the closed profile. So you're looking at just shy of 5 inches closed. In the pocket, now because of the flipper I know, it's got basically a finger stop at both sides here. Keep you from sliding forward if you poke something. So that does make it a little thicker in the pocket than it would be ordinarily. But so let's see, if we swell that out just a little bit, you are looking at 1 1/8 inches, but only because of this piece of protrusion right here. Right? It is less, I mean, look at that. The knife itself is 3/4 inch. It is very lean. Widthwise, we are coming in at just shy of a 1/2 inch. Right? Not bad. Okay. I really like this thing. Again, $120 is a little steep, but let's take a look at what you get for the $120. You get a lot of very well done refined work. Now, there are steel liners inset into the aluminum scales, which is very nice. You do get the ceramic ball. You get a jimped and milled steel backspacer. As I said, you get the milled aluminum scales. You get this little fuller. There's a lot of shaping and stuff going on this knife. I really like this. I wish it was a little less money. Get used to hearing that because I got a bunch of these. You're going to hear that same complaint over and over again. Let's do some size comparisons for knives you may be more familiar with than the larger Begg stuff. Here it is, of course, against our old friend the Bug Out. As you can see, it is leaner but longer than the Bug Out. Here it is against the full-size Griptilian. Of course, there's the sheep's foot grip. I love this knife. A little bit longer because of that. Other than that, it's about the same length as a standard Griptilian. And then for a large knife, let's do the full-size Crooked River, which is really good. As you can see, it's just dwarfed by that. It is an interesting size. It's not huge, but it is nice and long. It's very pokey, if you're into that sort of thing. It's got a lovely edge on it. The action is, well, it's very good. Very snappy. I've had these for a while now, and I've been carrying this one. Thank you, Dirk. We've had no alignment issues at all, and as you can see, there's not a lot of room for error there. It is really just well done. It's got a standard T8 pivot and a lovely pivot on this side. I haven't taken this apart, so I don't know if it's free spinning. It's just a neat cutting tool. Okay, let's do the, let's see how much of that D2 you get. So you start out relatively thin, right? We're talking about less than 3 millimeters. It does have a flat, it's got a secondary bevel here, and then it does come down to a relatively nice edge. Of course, it's got lots of belly. That is one of the things I love so much about the Kwaiken design, is that it's got all that belly, right? It's perfect for daily. You know, when I first saw these things, I was like, that's too stabby. It's not really, but it is an excellent EDC design. And now the one thing that the new sort of budget-minded Kwaiken has that the others don't is a little more flat. Right? This one's a little more like that. It's got a little bit of flat and then a nice big belly, right? This is about the same. These are cool. Let's weigh it. Doesn't feel that heavy, but we'll see how it goes. Excuse my arm. Ooh. 3.5 ounces for a 3.5-inch blade. This is right. Yeah, this is right at that ounce per inch that the EDC fans, this is 4 or 5 years ago, were making such a big deal of. It seems to have fallen by the wayside, but I still use it as a metric. Listen, this and all of the incoming Begg knives stuff are an opportunity for people who have long wanted stuff like this, but didn't want to spend the $300, $400, $500, $600 that these cost now, to get their hands on the designs. That's a pretty good idea. I really like this little Kwaiken. Maybe I'll ask Dirk if I can have this. What do you think? Should I? We'll see. Anyway, gang, this is the Begg Knives Kwaiken. It is part of their new line. It's available on Blade HQ. It is $120. It is well made, it is well sorted, and it is an excellent cutting tool. If the price doesn't frighten you off, I think you will very much enjoy it. I know I like it quite a bit. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see ya.